Good day and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the ongoing conflict inside of Afghanistan. And as we have heard, the Taliban continues its offensive in its attempt to regain control of Afghanistan. And the Taliban report that they control up to 80% of Afghanistan. Now, whether that is truthful, we really don't know. Afghanistan is an incredibly large country with both urban and rural areas, and obviously the Taliban do control large chunks of rural areas inside of Afghanistan. But the real challenge for the Taliban recently, as they look to attempt to gain control of the country, is taking control of key urban cities, key urban areas. And recently, within the past 24 hours, the Taliban has made an assault on the city of Kandahar. Again, a very large city with sprawling urban areas, and it's home to a very large airbase. And this is really where the Afghan army has been able to stop the Taliban from seizing these larger cities by using its air force. And while its air force is not large, it does have aircraft that can deliver precision guided munitions, and then obviously they do receive support from the United States and its intelligence agencies. So in this case, the Taliban recently attempted, and when I say recently, within the last 24 hours, an assault on an outlying district of Kandahar. And in that assault, the Taliban suffered great casualties, reportedly up to 70 killed in action. And this was because of the ability of the Afghan Air Force, in conjunction with these special operation commando battalions that the Afghan army possesses, to engage the Taliban. We've seen regular army units of the Afghan army without air support get attacked and then flee. But however, in these larger cities, as the Taliban attempt to gain control, they are suffering rather serious casualties because the Afghan army does have the ability to deliver airstrikes, and they do have the ability to sense and shoot at columns of Taliban technicals that are moving into the area, and that is what occurred recently in Kandahar. And again, reports of the Taliban suffered many casualties and were in fact driven off from this outlying district of Kandahar. Now, at the same time, we are hearing that, for instance, the Indian consulate office in Kandahar has closed shop and is looking to move out. We continue to hear that the United States maintains its embassy in Kabul. That has not closed. There are still 600 U.S. troops assigned to Kabul, and that is not looking to change. Again, I talked about, is the Biden administration willing to be the administration that loses Afghanistan to the Taliban? And I'd have to say that that would be a very large pill to swallow for the Democrat Party, and I'm not certain they're willing to do that. At the same time, I do believe we are going to see the collapse of the Afghan army, or certain elements of the Afghan army, but at the same time, there are going to be elements of the Afghan army that is indeed willing to fight. I had mentioned earlier the commando battalions at Special Operations Forces, which were all trained by the U.S. military. And then obviously as long as the Afghan Air Force can continue to provide pilots and repair its aircraft, the Afghan Air Force is going to pose a significant challenge for the Taliban as they attempt to attack larger cities. And they are going to have to do that in order to eventually win the war. And again, that is going to be something that the Taliban is focused right now on. For instance, they are trying to assassinate Afghan pilots, and it is understood that up to 7 pilots have already been assassinated by leaving their bases and possibly going home and traveling in the country. But the real effort in the defense of Afghanistan is going to be the Air Force, and I think we saw that recently in Kandahar, and we see that in other areas of the country as well, is where these ground attack aircraft that the Afghan Air Force possess are in fact causing rather significant casualties for the Taliban. And unlike the United States Air Force, which once the current administration took control, made it more difficult for the U.S. Air Force to prosecute the war and conduct airstrikes. That is not the case with the Afghan army. They are completely free to use the resources it has to strike what it desires to hit. And as long as they possess that ability, I think this conflict will continue. Not to say that we won't see the collapse of the Afghan military, but it may not happen as quickly as some analysts are in fact predicting. Have a great day, everybody.